Okay, everyone. I have the famous, right? I think everybody definitely, once you are at a certain age and you're still giving to your families and to people around you, you got to be famous. I'm going to label it famous. Okay, I have Mr. and Mrs. Greene, Mama Evans. They're all the way from Wilmington, North Carolina. They walked here. No, I'm just kidding. They didn't walk. They came down to see some folks graduate from high school, from college, and middle school as well. So let's let the people know who you are. So, ladies first, Mrs. Greene. Where are you from, and when were you born?
I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina, and I was born on July the 14th. 1947.
Man, July is the best month on the planet because I was born in July. Mr. Greene?
Yes.
Where are you from and when were you born?
I am from Charleston, South Carolina. I was born April the 18th, 1934.
My man. Oh, wow. That's a whole story right there. So I'm from South Carolina as well, Greenville. Man, on this beautiful evening, the birds chirping in the background, you guys out here relaxing on the deck. So tell me, what, Mrs. Greene, Mama Evans, as a little lady, young lady, what's the first thing you remember? As a child, what's the first thing that you can remember doing? Was it, because everybody has that first instinct, right? So mine was like playing in the yard. I can't really remember what I just remember playing in the yard. What do you remember the first thing you were doing that just made you just happy as a young lady?
Drying watermelon seeds, planting watermelons, planting corn seeds, and watching them grow. And I was around 10, and I would pluck, when the corn grew, I would pluck
the thistles,
the corns off.
Okay.
Off. And shuck the corn.
Okay.
Watermelon seeds. Cantaloupes. I just love working in the dirt, in the yard with the flowers and watching things grow.
Okay. Were you eating the stuff as it was ripening?
Once it got ripe, I would shuck the corn, carry it in the house to mom.
Did you ever eat it raw? Did you ever eat raw corn? Like after you shuck it, did you ever tear it up?
No, I liked to see it after it was small.
You liked it to be cooked.
Yes,
okay.
I always loved to be working in the yard, from flowers to garden and my father, he rode a mule and wagon, and he used to plow fields, and I used to jump on the back. And the biggest thing I used to get in trouble doing, because my mom would remind me, "You girl, you don't go in the back, you don't get on the wagon with your dad when he plowed fields." But so I made my own garden in the backyard at home.
So that was difficult because you loved the garden, you loved the experience.
Yeah, and my dad, I would watch him plow fields and plant.
What was your dad's name?
Elijah Murray Senior.
Okay.
Okay,
that's good stuff, man. So, and your mother, what was her name?
Ernestine Murray.
Okay.
And she sewed all the time. By the time I was in the 7th grade, I was making my own clothes and all of them with the 8th graders. So I became a seamstress. As years went on, I had my own business, BJ Designs Unlimited, making wedding dresses, prom dresses, whatsoever.
Okay, so you jumped right there. Okay. We still on the little lady. Still on the,
And it started from my mother, watching her sew.
Okay.
And I would always, on every occasion for her, Mother's Day, Christmas, I always buy a little red spool of thread. Back then it wasn't very much. And give it to my mother, not realizing red stood for love.
Oh, okay.
And watching her sew just gave me a desire to sew, and I continue to take up from her in sewing.
Okay. So did you have something else? Did you have something else?
Well, I always desired to teach, which I did. Head
Okay.
Start and, you know,
Okay.
as a teacher's aide and the missionary department with
Okay.
the youth. I always liked it working with children.
Okay. So let me ask you. So when you saw your mother sewing, what did she? Who did she sew for? What did she sew dresses and
She
stuff
made
to
all
sell,
our clothes.
or just
Yeah.
it was in house
in-house.
sewing
In-house, but I carried it further into a business.
into the business, man?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So Mr. Greene.
Yes.
So what was the first thing that you can remember as a young fella doing that just made you happy when you was growing up?
Well, there are 10 in the family, 8 boys and 2 girls.
So fighting for food might have been one of the first things.
Yes, that could be true. Yeah, that became one of the problems.
Oh, did it?
Yes, it did.
So what did you remember like you just loved to do as a youngster?
As a youngster, we played with one another outside. We played all kind of ball games when we were young, even in elementary school. I think we enjoyed most of the summer when you're barefooted and you go outside and play.
Mm-hmm.
And we used the hose and we teased each other and sprayed the hose on each other, and we had a lot of fun.
Okay, okay.
That was our fun days, and I think we got more fun when you created things to play. Ball, we played what they call half rubber ball.
Half rubber ball, what's that?
They cut a rubber ball in half,
Okay.
and they use a broomstick, and one guy pitched the ball, and they just zoom it, and it curves. It's a half rubber ball, and you try to hit it.
And that kept it from going too far, so you didn't get in trouble
Yes,
or
that's
lose
right.
it.
Yes.
And man, that calls for you needed some athleticism because that ball just went unpredictable, right?
That's right, it does. You had no way for catching it.
Yeah.
So it's mainly strike out, either you strike out or you hit it.
Isn't it amazing how when you don't have a lot of things around you, and I'm gonna say toys or activities, how when you're young you can create your own fun.
We did. A lot of us did. And we shot marbles.
Were you pretty good?
Pretty good at marbles.
Okay.
And everybody in the neighborhood played some of the same games we played.
Yeah.
So they would come over, even our yard, to
Competition.
play the competition. And we love it. And they played table games.
Okay.
Like not chess, but checkers. Chinese checkers and regular checkers.
Okay.
We did that a lot.
Okay, a lot of
And
games.
A lot of games. Creative games. And if you want to know the truth, games that we just create by ourselves.
Yes.
We did a lot of skating in the streets during the season, especially during Halloween time and all the time, the holidays. Everybody used to buy their skates. We used to get skates for Christmas. And nothing more than having skates. Because we skated in the streets. And Union Number 5, we used to call it. That's the brand of skates that everybody knew
Union
about.
Number 5.
Union Number 5. And we would buy it. And it was like hand me down. A lot of times my dad would hand down things like bicycle or skates to the next ones under us, the younger ones.
Okay,
So he
yeah, because
kept
everybody's
those
foot grew at a different time.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So it was hand me down stuff from the older ones to the younger ones.
So
we
what?
remember the games, a lot of games.
Yeah, that's good. So that actually, I see two things in both of you, right? The two things I see is that you're still in your childhood and the things you do now. You
Yes.
grow gardens, you like flowers, right? You still the little lady. Yeah, exactly. And you're creative. You got your creative mind. You always like to put notes on everything you read and think
Yes.
creatively.
Yes.
So you're still living in your youth, which is amazingly good.
Yes, it is.
We haven't let society snatch your youth away from you.
Right.
And that's a good thing. So what was your mom and dad name, Mr. Greene?
Edward Greene is my father. Eva Greene was my mother.
Okay. Now, one thing I didn't ask you, Miss Greene, Mama Evans, is brothers and sisters.
I was the 5th child.
Okay.
The oldest was a brother.
But name each one of them. We're going to get them on record.
Okay. The firstborn was Elijah Murray Jr.
Okay.
The second one was Hattie Mae Murray, which is Richardson now. Next was Mary Ann Willis, which is Willis now, which was Murray. And we did have a sister to be a stillborn between Elijah, and Hattie.
Okay.
And Mary Ann, which was Murray but Willis now. Then myself, being the fifth. And then the sixth one was Ernest Lee Murray,
Okay.
and he's deceased. And the seventh one is Janice Murphy,
Okay.
which is the youngest of seven.
Okay. Okay. Now, Mr. Greene, you had a whole posse. Tell us about name your brothers and sisters.
Well, there are 10 of us, 2 girls and 8 boys.
Okay.
The firstborn was the girl. Edina Louise Greene was the first child, the oldest one. And the next one was the boy, Edward Greene. And the next one was Bernard Patrick Greene. And the next one would be William Lowell Greene.
Okay.
And coming down, Calvin Reginald Greene.
Okay.
And then Hubert Swinton Greene.
Okay.
And then Yvonne Patricia Greene.
Okay.
And then Raymond Donald Greene.
And that was it.
And now one under me, the baby is called Morris Greene.
Marge Greene.
Yes.
Okay. So now on that note, we're gonna take a pause and